God's love was a seed, it would flutter effortlessly in the breeze, catching the first gentle lift, depositing itself on your back. The hull would crack and spit out new life. Tiny roots would weave themselves into your pores and stretch and twist between the sinews, riding each synapse, informing each cell, infiltrating every bloodstream, traveling to the extremities until deeply coiling itself within every fiber of your being. Outwardly, it would grow a trunk as wide as a giant sequoia, as interwoven as a banyan, reaching far into the sky, forcing you to submit to its goodness. The weight of the love would coerce you to the ground, compel you to lie prostrate under its crushing weight. You wouldn't be able to move an inch without feeling the overburdening load of love on your shoulders. That's what it would be like if God's love was a seed. If God's love was a droplet of water, it would displace the ocean, creating a tidal wave from pole to pole, stretching from hemisphere to hemisphere. No ark big enough could hide a pair of animals. No man righteous enough could swim in its presence. No man sinful enough could remain unaffected on the rocks. All would drown beneath its current, a riptide to reconcile, a tsunami to sanctify, an ebb with everlasting flow, and a flow with everlasting ebb, an unsettled discontentedness upon the deep, never still, always searching, clear and cool, pure and satisfying. 1 drink for salvation, 2 drinks to spread the word, 3 drinks to dive beneath the endless pool of life. That's what it would be like if God's love was a droplet of water. If God's love was a dot in the sky, or a faint dying light of a star a billion light years away, it would collapse upon itself, creating a black hole of nothing and a black hole of everything. The centrifugal force would squint its nose at the laws of physics, and each planet and star would vacate their position into the velvet blackness, firm and smooth, a sea of calm amidst an ocean of sky. All being, all thought, all motion, all happenstance would be drawn to the edge and compelled to admit the power of the dot, the overwhelming presence of the dim light, and all of time and space would center itself around the dot, coerced to admit its helplessness against the outspoken words of love. That's what it would be like if God's love was a dot in the sky. If God's love was a moment in time, it would stretch from the first word of creation to the last battle of Armageddon. It would encapsulate every breath, every second, every tick of every clock. It would stand guard for every impatient heart and would hurry along any indecisiveness. A blink of the eye in an eternity, 1,000 years with each tick of the hash mark. Tick, tick, tock, tock. 4 universes colliding, unable to bear the weight of the affection upon its being. All hurt swallowed in a nick, all doubt relieved with a snap. An alarm would signal the lifting of the curse, and time and being and love and believing would be revealed at last. That's what it would be like if God's love was a moment in time. If God's love was a seed, you could not bear the weight on your back. If God's love was a droplet of water, you would be doomed to a life beneath the current. If God's love was a dot in the sky, you would be swallowed by the expanse of the universe. If God's love was a moment in time, you would feel affection for an eternity, all in 1 second. God's love is a seed. Will you allow it to grow? God's love is a droplet of water. Will you drink it up? God's love is a dot in the sky. Will you jump into its vastness? God's love is a moment in time. Will you wait for it?